Hi friends, so good morning and I welcome you all to this new class, and I hope you are aware about our topics, that is the types of resources, and we already studied that we can divide the resources on the basis of origin, on the basis of ownership, on the basis of exhaustibility and so on. So today let us see about the resources on the basis of status of development. So based on how these resources are developed, we can divide them into different categories. That's what we are going to see. And based on this development, we can say one is potential. Potential resources. So from the name itself we can understand it has got a potency. So that is called, let's see what is potential resources. So resources which are found in a region but have not been utilized. So we have found resource in certain region but we have not yet started using it. It has got a potency to use it, but we have not yet started. For example, the western parts of India, particularly Rajasthan and Gujarat, have enormous power of development of wind and solar energy. But so far these have not yet been developed properly. So if you go to Gujarat and Rajasthan, we know that area has a lot of wind available, strong wind is there, and the solar power, the sun power also is very great there. So we can convert them into energy. But unfortunately, we have not yet started using it the proper way. Maybe we lack technology and so on. So, but it is there. We have identified that it is there, but we have not yet started using it. Therefore, solar or wind. That's an example for potential resources. Solar power or wind. So that is the example. Now another type, the second type is developed resources. Developed, that means already developed the resources. So the resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined for utilization. So in the places we have already found out where these resources are available, and we have already found out how much is their quality, how much is their quantity, and so on. Quantity means the amount, how much of resources are there in that place, or what is the quality, is it the best quality or low quality. For example, coal. We can identify the coal that are there in places. All the places coal is not there. So where it is available, we can identify. Then the coals that are found everywhere is not the same quality. There is first quality, second quality, third quality, and so on. So in most of the places in India, we find coal belonging to the third quality. So all that we can identify. So if we have identified, then we call it developed resources. The resources, the places are identified, and their quality and their quantity, that is all identified. Then we call them developed resources. Then they are ready for using. We have got already the sufficient technology to mine it out, and we can start using it. And the development of resource depends on technology and the level of their feasibility. So it has been identified, the quality and quantity, all that, and then we can start using it. And for using, we need to have certain things. We need to have technology. We cannot just go and hang the dig with the hands and say take it out. No, it may be very deep under the earth. So we need to use the proper technology to go dig down, drill down to the earth and take it out. And also we need to find out the feasibility. Feasibility means how profitable it is. Suppose we have identified a low quality mineral under the earth and the quantity also is very small. So very little and with low quality, and if you go for taking it out using the technology, we have to spend a lot of money. It is not that easy to do the mining. We have to spend a lot of money, we have to use a lot of engines and other machineries, a lot of skilled people, laborers, all are needed. Therefore, it is very expensive to do the mining. And so after doing all this work and we take out very little bit of mineral, what we get is very little, then it is very low, we can say. It is not at all profitable. It is going to be a heavy economic loss, a burden. So it is, in order to mine out, we need to see the economic feasibility, whether it is practical or not, whether it is going to be profitable or not, we have to see. Otherwise it is going to be great loss and then people will not do it. So only if it is profitable, then people will do. Then another type is called stock. Stock. So the very word we can understand what is stock. Stocking, keeping it. So minerals in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access these, are included among the stock. So what is stock? The materials in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but do not have the appropriate technology to mine it out. So we know several places minerals are there. They are very good. They can satisfy the human needs. They can do a lot of things for the human beings and so on. So we are very happy it is there. But we cannot go and take it out. What is the problem? Because we do not have enough technology to take it out. It is not just kept on top there and go and just bring it home. Not that way. It may be very deep down under the earth, or sometimes maybe under the sea. So we need to have that technology, how to take it out from under the earth. So at present we know there are some minerals in some places, but since our technology has not yet developed, we are keeping it there. We can use in the future, because in the future our technology will be improving and we will be able to use that modern technology in the future and take it out the minerals. So till that time it will be known as stock. So if you are able to take it out with the proper technology, then it will be known as developed. So till we find a proper technology to use it, it will be known as developed. It will be known as stock. Then another, for example, water is a component of two inflammable gases, hydrogen and oxygen. You know, water is composed of H2O, two hydrogen and one oxygen. That is how water is composed. So hydrogen is highly inflammable. Inflammable means which can be used for burning. Hydrogen is good for burning. Oxygen is also good for burning. So two gases, hydrogen and oxygen, they are formed together. Water is made, liquid is made. And both these are gases, both these are good for burning. But when there is fire, what do? We go and pour water there and the fire will go off. Very strange, is it not? So, the gases that are highly inflammable, highly good for burning, is used for putting off fire. So, water is supposed to burn very fast because it is contained of oxygen and hydrogen, but that is not taking place because these two are combined together, it is turned into water. So, if you separate them, hydrogen separate, oxygen separate, then we can use them for some other purpose. They will be able to help us to make gas for cooking and so on. So, but at present we don't have that technology. We know there is plenty of water, and if we have got that technology, how to divide oxygen and hydrogen in the water, then we can have plenty of gas, cooking gas and for other purpose. But at present we don't have that technology, we don't know how to separate oxygen and hydrogen from the water, and therefore it remains as a stock. Maybe in the future, after 100 years or 200 years, somebody will find out that technology which will help people to divide between oxygen and hydrogen, divide the water between hydrogen and oxygen, and then it will become a developed resource. Then the fourth type of resource is reserve. Reserving for future. So, reserves are the subset of stock. So that also something similar to stock. Stock also is kept for future. We are not using because we don't have the technology. So this also is kept for future. But there is one difference, which can be put into use with the help of existing technological know-how, but their use has not yet been started. So the minerals or resources that belong to this category, reserve, if it is there and if you want, we can use now. We have got enough technology to use this, but we are not using it. At present we don't need it. We have got another minerals, other resources are there. So therefore we keep it for future. We will use it later. If you want, we can use now also, but since we have got sufficient resources are there, this one we are not touching. We are just keeping it. Okay, let us use this one. When it is over, we will take another one. So till that time, it will be called reserve. So these can be used for meeting future requirements. So because we need to think about future as well. We cannot just say, I want enjoy maximum. I want use maximum development. I want get maximum benefit. If I think about everything for me, then we will ruin our future generation. The generation that is going to come after 100 years, they will have no resources at all. They will be living in a barren land. There will be no resources at all. So, in order to avoid such a great tragedy for the earth and for the future people, we keep some resources for future. That is called reserve resources. And river water can be used for generating hydroelectric power, but presently it is being utilized only to a limited extent. Thus, the water in the dams, forests, etc. is a reserve which can be used in the future. So, in order to explain this, let us say an example of water. You know, water has got so much of utilities there. We can use it for producing electricity. So, every water we can block it by building dams and then use it for producing electricity. So at present we are not using all the waters in the country for producing electricity. We use only what is needed for us. Only a few dams are there. If you want every river, we can build a dam. So, but we are not doing it. For example, we keep it for a reserve. In the future, when the population is increasing, when we need more and more electricity, then we can build more dams and we can create more electricity. But at present we don't need it. We don't need to build all the dams. So we keep it for future. So that is example for the reserve resources. So these are the 4 types of resources which can be divided on the basis of status of development. So how they are developed and how they are made use and so on. Once again we say potential resources, we have identified it is there, but we have not yet started using it. So it is potential, it is the power is there to satisfy the human needs, but we have not yet started using it. We are keeping it for future, to develop little more high technology. The present technology is not enough, so we keep it for future use. Then another one is developed. This one we have already identified where it is there, how much is there, how much is the quality, what is the quality, all that have been identified. It is there and that is called developed, and we are using it at present. And when it is with regard to using it, we said 2 things are matters: to use or not use. First of all, it should be economically feasible. If it is very little is there, then it is not worth spending so much of money in order to take out that mineral resources. So we may not use it. Then we also need to have proper technology. It may be there, it may not be very expensive, we can take it out. But if you don't know the idea, the knowledge, how to take it out, then it may not be possible for us. So we need it should be profitable for us, and we also should have proper technology to take it out. Then we said stock. So it is there and we keep it for future. We are not able to use at present. We don't have the technology to use it. We don't know how to use it. So we keep it for future, so that after 100 years or 200 years, technology will increase much more, and we may have a better technology, and then we may know how to use these resources which we are not able to use now. Future we may be able to use. Then the 4th type is called reserve resources. We keep it purposely for the future without using now, so that the future generations, the future people also will be able to use it. So that is a concern for the future, conservation for the future. So that's what we need to do with regard to every resources. We just should not think only about myself. We should not think just what I need, I will take it. I will try to use maximum because I have got power, I have got the money, so I will use all this for myself. So if everyone is thinking that way, then the resources of the earth will not be enough at all. So we need to make more and more resources available. We need to make more and more resources available for the future generation. So we should use only what is needed for us. We should not think about wasting it, or we should not think about grabbing everything and keeping everything for myself. If I am worried too much in the future, I may not get more resources, so let me collect everything and keep in my room or keep in my house. So if you think that way, then it is showing our greediness. So the earth resources is meant for everyone. It is to be shared between everyone, not just for our selfish purpose and so on. Not only for people who are living at present, it is meant for people who are going to live in the future as well. So it should be very much in our mind that the resources, we should not just think about finishing up by ourselves. We need to keep it for everyone, for the future as well. So we shall wind up for today the different types of resources, and in the next class we will study about the development of resources. So how these resources are developed? Is it because of human beings, or is it because of the nature by itself developing, or how these resources are developing, and so on. All that we shall see in the next class. So thank you for listening and have a nice time.